Hello and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I am going to show you all of these new BK Beauty brushes that I have just gotten my hands on to create this beautiful look. I'm Rita Almusa, master esthetician, makeup artist for over 20 years, and I'm going to show you a professional way to use these beautiful makeup brushes, which ones I selected for what product, how you should be using these, and also how I achieved this amazing look using all of these brushes. So let's get started. In today's video, it's going to be a fun exploration of all these new brushes that I have received from BK Beauty. So Lisa J, the owner of this company and also a pro makeup artist, also lives in Austin, Texas. So we have connected. She has sent this beautiful package of all of these products here. And I had a request when I showed this package from one of my viewers to go through these brushes and kind of explain what you would use each of these for. So that's what this video is going to be about. I'm basically going to open up all of these kits and show you all the different brushes and all the different options here. And you know, there are so many brushes here. This is Nikki LaRose. Here, you have seen her use her brushes here. She has this brush set where she paired up with BK Beauty. So I have that here. I've seen her use so many of these amazing brushes for different looks, but I'm excited to show you how I would personally use some of these brushes. And then also these larger foundation and complexion brushes. I mean, look at these beautiful brushes. I'm so excited. Let's open these up and get started. And before I open up these kits, let me go over what's inside each one. So if you are just looking at one kit in particular, which I will link all of these within YouTube shopping for you, but let's go over what's inside each kit before I open them up and get them mixed up a little bit. So the first set that you see here is the Core Complexion Trio, and this is going to include 3 brushes. And what we have is the 114, which is a dual-sided concealer brush, and then in the middle we have the 115, which is the medium contoured foundation brush, and then you have the 116 small round complexion over here. So they're just a little different. Of course, I'm going to open these up and show you how you would use these. The next set is going to be the Essential Face. So as you can see, this is a 4 brush set. So the first one we have here, we have a tapered powder, we have a bronzer, which is 103, a large powder brush, which is 102, and a contoured foundation brush here, which is a 101. And then I also have 2 little brushes that are sold separately. So I'm going to go over how you would use these as well. This is the 109, which looks a bit like a smaller angled foundation brush to me. And then also there is an Angie Hot and Flashy. We know Angie, our YouTuber friend, and this is a 506. And this one looks like also an angled concealer type brush, which I use quite often depending on where I'm putting that concealer. And the last set that I have here is the Nikki LaRose. As you can see, Nikki LaRose is also a fellow YouTuber. You may recognize her here. I have seen Nikki use so many of these brushes in her tutorials, and I love watching her tutorials. I love her personality. I think she's really talented, and she's also super kind. In this 7-piece set, we have the N11 Ultimate Angle, N12 Ultimate Smudger, N13 Precision Pro Blender, N14 Petite Precision Multitasker, N15 a Precision Medium Powder, N16 a Pro Concealer, and then N17 a Multi-Pro Face. So these ones were designed by Nikki LaRose, and she paired up with BK Beauty. So I'm excited to have this kit. Now also what I have here, which was pretty cool, this is a solid brush soap. So as you open this up, you can see what this looks like. This is basically a cleansing bar and a scrub pad. So when your brushes get dirty, you can just scrub on this. What I love about it is that it is made with coconut oil. It's all natural and it's vegan and it's made in Italy. So this is super high quality, and I love the little tin that this comes in. So that's really great. As a master esthetician and makeup artist, I definitely encourage you to wash your brushes thoroughly and properly at least once every 2 weeks. Now for your more commonly used brushes like foundation and whatnot, try to do that once a week if you can. Just dedicate a day. and take the time, but having something like this is definitely going to make that a lot easier. Now, some of you may know I have personally founded a beauty company that is also cruelty-free, so I have been designing and working with different companies for my own mint pear makeup brushes for over 11 years. Those are also cruelty-free, so I definitely have an opinion on high-quality makeup brushes, so I'm excited to give you my opinion. I was not paid for my opinion on this, so I'm really going to give you my opinion on the quality of these brushes and the application. So I'm excited to go through these. So let me get these open. Let's pull these out. Look at the packaging. Super thoughtful on how those are packaged together in the kit. So this is the Core Complexion Trio. Look how beautiful these brushes are. This color, oh my goodness, I love it. It actually kind of reminds me of Huda's new Strawberry Latte collection, which is perfect timing, but I think it is such a good day when you get new brushes. It's inspiring, it's so much fun, and even if they're different shapes and brushes that you haven't used, it really inspires you to try an application in a different way. So I'm excited to see how these brushes work. I am going to use these brushes today to create a look, so I'm going to pull them all out and then I'm going to show you which one, and I'm just basically going to call them out by number and let you know like which one I'm going to use. Oh, and look at the 4-piece set. Look how fluffy those are. Can you see in there? These are from the Essential Face Kit. These may be the fluffiest brushes I have ever seen. This is exactly what you want for a powder, for a bronzer. If you want that subdued airbrush look that doesn't show a lot of lines and just blends super well, I am so excited for this. Look at this. This is going to be one of my favorite brushes. I'm so excited. Ooh! Okay, so I have rounded up what I would assume and I would use personally as any of the foundation options. And when I say foundation, I also am referring to primer, so foundation primer, because I think you can use the same brush. You have seen me apply foundation primer with my hands, but you can also use a similar brush. If you want to dedicate one brush to just foundation primer and keep it that way, that is a great solution as well. So these are the ones that I have chosen for foundation. So 109, it looks like it's a little bit more angled for you. So if you don't want to apply a ton of foundation, this one would be great. It would allow you to get into those close areas and have a nice angle and also blend up into your hairline. It is fluffy, so you'll get an airbrush look here. Now, if you like a little bit more foundation and more coverage, I think the 115 looks pretty good because this is a little bit more dense and it looks like you can get in and really kind of pack in that makeup. So this is really for events, wedding, or heavier application if you want a lot of foundation, just because of the way it's just going to pack in that makeup. Now, something that I would be more familiar with because of the shape of this and how I use the flat top kabuki from Mint Pear, this is the 116. This one is like a perfectly rounded, it has a little bit of a dome shape, and I feel like this one would allow you, it is a little fluffier than the 115, so you can really get in there and a light bluffing of your foundation with this one, the 116. Now also we have Nikki LaRose, the N17. This one's cool. This one is dual-sided. So what this means to me is that, so I'm seeing the white side, it looks a little bit fluffier. It looks like maybe you can get a more airbrushed look with this side, and the dark side looks a little bit more dense, maybe. So depending, it's not a super dense brush per se, so it looks like it's more of a paint application, so this would be more of like a drag application, but maybe just this side would allow you to buff in maybe your liquid blush or any kind of product. Maybe you're blending in your concealer with your foundation. I would use this side for that. So this one actually looks pretty nice because you do have a few different options here, and that's in the Nikki LaRose set. And then the last one here is the 114. This one's unique because this one has this pointy shape here. Now personally, I feel like this one might work really well for the primer application, so I'm going to use this one today to apply my primer. And the reason why I think this would be great is because it has this kind of painter brush, but it also allows me to get into different angles with that shape, and I appreciate that. So let's start with Huda's Easy Blur. So that's what I'm going to start with today. I'm taking the 114. I'm using Huda Beauty's Easy Blur Primer, and I'm just going to show you how to apply this. I like to distribute the product and then go in and blend that out. So as you can see with the brush, I'm just gently blending this into my skin, just like I'm painting a canvas. And I'm also able to reach into those hard to reach areas with the angle of this brush. I feel like it's doing a great job at distribution. I don't feel like it's grabbing onto too much of the product. I can really feel that product moving. Even though I didn't apply a ton, I can still feel that moving and blending out over my entire face. I really like how you can go right in between the brows with that angle too. That is the perfect size to just kind of go at an angle. And any of those larger foundation brushes, you wouldn't be able to do that. This is a very soft brush. I feel like even though it looks super dense, maybe on camera, it's very velvety soft and it allows to really blend in the products easily and quickly. Next, I'm going to select a foundation brush, and for me personally, I am so particular on a foundation brush because I really think that changes the way that your makeup applies and just looks for the entire day. I like this one. I feel like it's not too dense. I feel like it's not going to absorb too much of my product. Has a little bit of an angle. I'll be able to buff out my foundation. So let's go with this one. This is the 109. Taking Huda Beauty's Easy Blur. This is in shade Chai, and I'm just gonna apply this straight onto my face and then buff that out with the brush. Taking the brush, I am just gently going to press this down and in an outward motion. Very soft. It's very soft. And I'm just kind of buffing that out. So if I feel like there's too much product in a certain area, I'll kind of take the brush and distribute that into another area and come back to make sure I don't have too much in one area. Basically, buffing that, the most product is distributed on the center of my face, and I'm gently blending extra up into my hairline. And now I'm going to put on some color corrector before my concealer. This is in shade Cherry Light from Huda Beauty. Battle of the concealer brushes. Okay, so I have Nikki LaRose, the N16 right here, and you can see this is more of a feathered angle tip here. So this is going to give a great airbrushed look. And then I have a more dense option, which is also angled, but that is definitely more of a kabuki type of feeling. This is by Angie Hot and Flashy. This is A506. I feel like I'm gonna go with the more dense to blend out the corrector. Potentially I might use Nikki's for the concealer because I have seen Nikki use this so often and I just keep hearing N16, N16, and I want to use it honestly to just see what it does. But let's go ahead and at least blend out the corrector with this A506 from Angie Hot and Flashy. You have seen me blend out my concealer with a mini flat top kabuki type brush. The only difference with this one that I will say is that it's a little bit larger. So going under that eye area, it's a little bit bigger and I feel like it might pick up a little bit more product. So this might be a better brush for maybe blending out contour or something. It's a little bit bigger than I would personally prefer for concealer. But of course, it's always good to try your brushes in different ways and see if maybe there's something that you prefer that you weren't doing previously. It does blend really well. I get a nice blended color corrector and it really sets that in well. Now let's go in with concealer. I'm going to use the shade Honey by Huda Beauty. Today I'm going to do a little bit more just because I want to play with these brushes and I want to see what they can do. Now, Nikki LaRose has this N14, which is kind of like this multitasker, which is really cool as you can see. So I may potentially use this to blend out some of these, but let's go ahead and just use this infamous N16 concealer brush and see what it does. It is supposed to be really great at blending in concealer. I do like the size of it. And I do like that it goes right under your lashes. That's so great. I also think it's great because it is a little flat, as you can see. I can blend out my nose contour and just go right over my nose and keep that line pretty thin. I can really just gently buff that. So what I'm doing is I'm barely touching my skin and I'm just going back and forth. You can notice how I'm holding the brush more towards the end. That is a trick also with makeup brushes, especially in the eye area. If you're holding your brush really like tight and close, you're not going to get that airbrush look. So you'll notice that most makeup artists will hold their brushes towards the end with a very light hand. And that just allows you to get that really airbrushed look and application. What's next? I know what's next. The liquid blushes. This is one of my favorite parts of applying makeup. I just love color. I love blush. I love these products in particular. And I'm excited to see how these brushes will blend this out. So these are the blush filters from Huda. This is the Strawberry Latte. I'm going to do a couple dots here with this one, and I like to blend, of course, with different colors. So this is Cotton Candy. I love this shade as well. I'm going to put the lighter shade just right here in the front. I like how it captures the light. It gives a little bit of dimension and contour with putting that lighter shade in the front. Now for blending this out, I think the best one that I'm going to go with is that 116, and this is just more of that kabuki here. So I really like that that's going to blend this together and keep it in the area and the placement that I need without airbrushing it too much to different areas. I'm going to take the A506 and just make sure that the concealer and that blush is blended pretty well right there. Now, because we are testing so many brushes today, I'm going to forego using Huda Beauty's little powder puffs that I have here because I really want to just see how and what brushes I can use for powder. So as I was looking at these, I'm looking at the Nikki LaRose N14, which is that nice multitasker, and I think that would be really great for setting my under eye concealer. So I'm going to try this. I'm just going to put a little bit on here, dab that on, and take off any excess on the brush so I don't get too much under my eyes. And let's see how this goes. And I'm using Huda Beauty's Cherry Blossom Cake. This is the easy setting powder. And I'm just going to set that right under my eyes. You want to make sure that you don't have any creases when you do this. And I'm just going to press that right under my eye. Now for the rest of my face, I need to select a brush. Now I have some of those nice fluffy brushes here in the large set. So now I definitely, and the reason why I decided on this one, which is the 103 versus the 102. The 103 feels a little bit more like it's just softer. It's not as dense, and that's going to allow me to set my powder pretty well. And I really like this large one for bronzer. I'm taking the Pound Cake. I'm just going to get a bunch on my brush here, and then I'm going to shake off that excess and go right in. Now, as you know, I also like to set my liquid blush with an actual powder brush. So I have recently fallen in love with this one. You have seen me use this, but this is the Strawberry Latte. Look at these colors. Oh, they're so amazing. I already know which one I'm going to use. The N15 from Nikki LaRose for this. I think that's a perfect brush. It's soft. It has just that larger size for your cheek, and it's not too big where I'm basically going to blend blush all over my face. So I like to just do 3 little pats, take off the excess, and just keep that right on the highest point of my cheek. Oh yes, this is a great brush. Perfect. So this one I decided for blush is N15. That is such a great brush. Same thing for the other side. And for a little bit of bronzer from Anastasia, I'm using the 104. This is like the larger powder. It's just a little bit smaller than the one I used for the powder, but I'm just going to put a little bit on the brush, and I'm going to keep this right under the blush here. Not too low on my cheek. I almost want two N16s, and the reason why, I think this would be really great to use as a contour. Like I could easily contour my nose and buff that out. But I do have this N12, which is like this really nice smudge, which I'm going to use just to see how that works. And I have the contour powder from Kevin of Swan, and I'm just going to test this out and just see like a little bit. Let's just see a little bit here. When you do contour your nose, just make sure that you connect the contour to your brow entirely, and then just blend that out really well. So obviously this brush is really great at picking up a lot of product. I used a little bit too much, so I'm just gonna blend that in a little bit, and hopefully it doesn't pull up too much of my foundation. Now, in the event that you use too much product, as such, what I would do is I would go back over, grab your concealer brush, this is the A506, and then just gently and easily blend that back in, just a little bit. Just buff it out so it's not too obvious. And there you go, that's a beautiful contour. So that brush really works well for an application. This is like a smudge brush, but I used it to contour and I think it worked pretty well. Now when it comes to eyeshadow, this same little brush that I just used for my nose contour, the N12, I think that would also be really great if you want to apply an eyeshadow primer. So I'm just going to put this on and I'm going to give that a test because maybe you want to try this brush for something else other than contouring. It does have a little bit of that flat side, so I think it would be kind of like a mini paintbrush, and I think that would be really great to apply an eyeshadow primer. Yeah, that works super well. You just lay that flat and gently blend that over. I personally love using an eyeshadow primer because it keeps my eyeshadow from creasing right here. So if you struggle with applying eyeshadow and then towards the end of the day or the middle of the day, you see your eyeshadow creeping into the crease here, if you wear an eyeshadow primer, it's really going to grab your eyeshadow and keep it in place all day. Now next, of course, I have to have a crease blend. I love always putting a crease blend, you know, like neutral shade there. So this is the N13, which is perfect. This is from the 7-piece set from Nikki LaRose. Super soft, super gentle. It's going to work really well. Today, the eyeshadow palette that I'm going with is a nude from Huda Beauty. For the crease blend today, I'm using Secret. It's a neutral shade that works really well if you are just going right into that crease. Now for hooded eyes or aging eyes, a little secret is you don't want to go too low into the crease. Try to hit right above, and that's really going to lift your eye. So I'm going to show you what that's like. Now again, pay attention to how I'm holding the end of my brush, and I'm gently doing little tiny circles in a rainbow type pattern. And that is how I'm blending in that crease. And I personally like to take it all the way in. I feel like it brings my nose a little bit closer, or my eyes closer. As you can see, it just creates a little bit here of a dimension. Okay, another brush I was super excited about is the N11. You can see this N11 has this flat angle. I am always obsessed with anything that gives me that wing, especially if it's from eyeshadow, because I feel like it's so forgiving and I love putting on eyeshadow as a wing. So I'm going to go with one of the darker shades here. If I can, I'm just going to grab this purple. This is called Love Bite. Taking this side, you can see the longer side and the short side. I'm going to take the longer side here and I'm going to angle this along my lash line. Of course, using the lip contour. This is a rich brown from Huda Beauty. And there you have it. This is the final and completed look using all of the BK Beauty makeup brushes. These are such high quality, beautiful brushes. In fact, you can see there were even a few brushes that I wanted multiple for different uses, and that just tells you that they are so diverse. You can really find a different way to use a lot of these brushes. As you can see, I used so many. So if you have questions about what I was using or why I was using it or why I liked it, just leave a comment below because I'm here and happy to help. I'm also going to put my discount discount code below in the description. So if I can get a discount code for these brushes, you better guarantee I'm going to share it with you. And I'm also going to link these in YouTube Shop for you. So you'll see those links below, but if you do have questions, be sure to ask me. I am here and happy to help. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you have not yet, please subscribe to my channel. I will see you in my next tutorial. Until then, have a wonderful day. Take care.